Hi guys, welcome to McKola TV. This is another MUFC transfer talk. It is number 43. Apologies, I'm a few minutes late. I just had to rush back into the house just this minute. So just trying to catch my breath. But I am close enough to that 8 o'clock mark, and I'm sure I've been later in the past before. So better late than never. And I am here and I am live, and it's MUFC transfer talk. Number 43, I can see Reza, Shayan, Dave, Marco, Manchester Fanatics, Aaron, Jack, BMW Racing, Josh Arnold, Cross Success, Marvin, Max, Ronan, and so many more in the comments at the moment. If I don't read your comments out, then I will try and get round to everything that I see. I'm good, thank you, Reese. Hi to you guys in Australia. Sorry, the name moved very quickly. It started with a J, but it moved very, very quickly. Anyway, guys, I have to apologise firstly because I've broken one of my promises of this transfer window. I promised not to talk about Gareth Bale. He was amongst those names like Neymar. I promised not to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo again. But I promised not to talk about Gareth Bale. But I look at my timeline over the last 24 hours. I look at the headlines in the news over the last 24 to 48 hours since Manchester United played Real Madrid. A little look at that clip with Jose Mourinho and Gareth Bale, and Jose Mourinho saying, "I can't buy you because you never talk to me," and showing that there is some clear desire from Jose to actually get the player. Obviously, everybody would be interested in Gareth Bale. Jose Mourinho has in the last week said Gareth Bale isn't one of those players on his list because he thinks it's impossible to sign Gareth Bale, and therefore it's not on his list. As he said to Gareth Bale, "I've been trying to speak to you, but you never talk to me." So it's our side of things, the marketing side of things, because Gareth Bale is someone that would sell a lot of shirts. He would be very lucrative deal-wise. And of course, he's a fantastic player as well. He would bring so much to Manchester United on the pitch. I know he's very good in La Liga, but he's made for the Premier League, and he's a fantastic talent, and one that I'm sure every Manchester United fan would want Gareth Bale at Manchester United. I was looking at some of the replies to Full-Time Devils tweet earlier when they said, "Who would you want to be your dream signings for Manchester United?" And Gareth Bale was one of those names that popped up. If you didn't say Gareth Bale, you said Alexis Sanchez, but Gareth Bale was one of those dream names that would pop up for Manchester United fans. And I'm sure every Manchester United fan would want Gareth Bale at the club. Can it happen though? Will it happen? The reason it's been elevated into the press recently is because of Kylian Mbappe's potential move to Real Madrid. Now, we've heard all this talk about £160 million or 160 million euros for Kylian Mbappe. And since this story has taken on a bit of speed, the links to Gareth Bale have started coming again. Obviously, with Jose Mourinho saying what he said to him in the tunnel, it's easy to make those links. But they're saying Kylian Mbappe's arrival at Real Madrid would mean that A, they may need to sell some players to free up some spots in the team, and that Kylian Mbappe's arrival could be negative for Gareth Bale. But the Spanish press think it's more negative for Asensio. I think they said it was that they think it's more negative for. That's the reports in Spain, who are more closer to things at Real Madrid. Now, in terms of Kylian Mbappe, I've seen Andrew's comment there that says that's ridiculous for an 18-year-old. I totally agree with you. I'm not surprised that Kylian Mbappe is fetching a world record fee. He's an incredible talent. He's a fantastic talent. But Jose Mourinho said it in a press conference. Paul Pogba's fee is going to look cheaper and cheaper as the months and the transfer windows go by. And this is just another example of that. Paul Pogba was a player that had proven something for 4 seasons at a top level in the Serie A. Helped Juventus get to Champions League final. And he had played a big part in them winning titles. Kylian Mbappe has done it for 6 to 9 months. He's done it for 6 to 9 months. He hasn't done it for a prolonged period of time. Yes, he has amazing potential. Yes, he did fantastically well against strong defences last season. But it's still a very young player. And at 160 million, I could understand 100 million, even though it would be overpriced. I could understand it. I tweeted for a laugh earlier today, or yesterday, that if Kylian Mbappe is worth 160 mil, Marcus Rashford is worth 250 mil. Now, obviously, it was tongue-in-cheek, but Kylian Mbappe is not worth 160 mil. And I got a lot of people taking me seriously saying, oh, what you on about, Rashford ain't worth that. Obviously, I wasn't being serious. No player is worth £250 million. But I think Mbappe has to prove it over a longer period of time to actually fulfill that price tag. But of course, his potential is massive. He could go to Real Madrid and help them win leagues and Champions Leagues. And in 10 years, you could look back and think, yeah, they got a bargain there. So, of course, the likelihood is he goes on and fulfills his massive potential. But £160 million, I think for a player that's only done it for a season, I think that is a massive, massive risk. And it's crazy, but never mind. Anyway, we're not talking about Kylian Mbappe. We are talking about Gareth Bale. But the reason that link is there is because the British papers are saying if Kylian Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, Gareth Bale's nose is going to be put out of place and he's going to want to leave. Now, a quick look when you search Google for Man United news stories, it comes up with Manchester United believes there's a real chance of get Gareth Bale. That's one headline. The other one says Gareth Bale only wants to join Man United. The other one says how Real Madrid's move for Kylian Mbappe could see Manchester United sign Gareth Bale. Manchester United handed Gareth Bale a boost as Real Madrid's step-up move for Kylian Mbappe. So you can see why these stories are coming about. The British press, who haven't got much on Manchester United at the moment, are we after Perisic still? Are we after Matic, Dyer? They're not too sure. They're throwing enough shit and hoping some of it sticks. Now the reports in Spain are that it's Essential that would be put out of place by the move of Kylian Mbappe and not Gareth Bale. And Gareth Bale was interviewed recently. And when I say recently, I mean in the last 24 hours. And he come out and he said that he doesn't want to leave Real Madrid. He wants to stay there for the foreseeable future. But then you get other people in England saying, no, there's a possibility of a move. Now, like Man United, God says, Bale is not going to effing Man United. Stop it. I totally agree with that. And I think this is the last time we will be talking about this one this summer. Because I can't see there being any actual manoeuvre for Manchester United to get Gareth Bale. Even if they sign Kylian Mbappe, yes, he might play out wide from his early stages at Real Madrid with Cristiano Ronaldo likely to hold that number 9 position. I think Gareth Bale is always going to be starting. It may be Mbappe, Bale and Ronaldo, but I think Gareth Bale is such a key figure at Real Madrid that he has to be starting games for them. And look, I'm not surprised to see him linked with Manchester United again. Jose Mourinho has made it clear he would love to sign him. Ed Woodward's made it clear he would love to sign him in the past with previous failed attempts to bring him to the club. Gareth Bale is always going to be linked to Manchester United and a return to the Premier League. We know that. Do I think Gareth Bale will return to the Premier League this summer? I still do not think it's possible, guys. Now, I could be wrong, but I still think it isn't possible. Now, I'm going to come to the comments. I've been speaking for about 9 minutes. The numbers have climbed up in here. We've got close to 500 people in here now. So thank you all for joining me. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to Adam McKola TV already. Anurag says he's too injury prone and too costly. Now, when we're talking about Mbappe and we're saying 100 million plus, I would think Gareth Bale would probably get, at least a Paul Pogba fee, if not, 100 million plus. I truly believe he would be fetching that sort of fee. Do I think he'd be worth it? I don't think anyone is worth these sort of fees. Let me get that out there first. But I think he would be a dream signing, and if we could make it happen, by any means necessary, we should make it happen. But do I think it will? I'm still sceptical on this one, and I'm still not reading anything into this. At this moment in time, the press haven't got much for Manchester United. They don't really know who we're signing. So they're going to be making things up. Harryon says, as days go by, Perisic rumours are getting quieter and quieter, which probably means we'll sign him tomorrow. Red Prepper says, better giving youth a chance. Somebody else made the comment about Andreas Pereira coming through as well. And Andreas Pereira looks like an incredible talent for Manchester United, and I really do hope he continues to develop at the club and gets chances this summer. Another one I'd like to see get chances as well is Timothy Fosu-Mensah, but you guys already know that. Anshul says, is there an update on Ivan Perisic? Now I'm going to do a quick search because I haven't heard anything recently. Now, I know their manager recently came out and said if there was an offer that they couldn't refuse, they would take it because they believe they can replace him. But we already know what kind of offers they've been talking about that they couldn't refuse. And Manchester United have already balked at those price tags. So I don't think it's a development in this story. Although the news story has come out in the last 24 hours on the BBC, because Spalletti's actually said it, that if they receive offers that are difficult to reject, then they will let him go. But what is difficult to reject for them? If it's £50 million and United have already been told that, then I'm not sure that's the case. DJX Gaming says, is Mickey better than Bale? Or is Bale better than Mickey though? I think they're completely different kinds of players, and I think there's room in teams for both of them. And I think Gareth Bale is someone that would thrive off playing with someone like Henrik Mkhitaryan, because Henrik Mkhitaryan is a player that can open up gaps for wide players when he slips into the middle for number 9s, and his interplay is absolutely fantastic. So I don't think it's a case of comparing the two. I think they're two completely different sorts of players. Mkhitaryan can play wide, Bale can play wide too, but I think that's where the comparisons and the similarities end. Who is my ideal defensive midfield signing, says Iani. It's an interesting one, to be totally honest with you. I am all for the signing of Nemanja Matic. I'm all for the signing of Fabinho. I'm not for the signing of Eric Dyer. Those are the 3 players we've been linked with. Now, do I see us getting Fabinho? It doesn't look like Monaco are going to be selling Lamar or Fabinho this summer. It looks like it's just going to be Kylian Mbappe and who else did they sell again? Bakayoko, who they sold to Chelsea. So Monaco aren't going to sell Fabinho, it looks like, this summer, unless United can force something towards the end of the window. But Matic, I think, is an ideal age for the kind of players that we need at this moment in time. I think he's of an ideal age. We haven't got many players of his age range at this moment in the team. We've lost a lot of experience. We've lost a lot of our older players. And I think whilst Matic isn't the perfect defensive midfielder, or he's not the best defensive midfielder out there, I think he's probably what we need at this moment in time. And I think Gary Neville said something similar as well, that Nemanja Matic would be an ideal signing for Manchester United because he kind of ticks all those boxes. Now, I know a lot of you are saying Emil Forsberg, who obviously plays for Red Bull Leipzig, who had a fantastic season last year and almost pushed Bayern Munich for the title, although they didn't get it. Now, he was voted Swedish Midfielder of the Year in 2014 and 16 is what it says in his file. I don't know too much about him. I can tell you his age. I haven't watched an awful lot of him, so I'm not going to pretend to know a huge amount about Forsberg. I've heard good things about him. Statman Daddy, aka Statman Dave, loves talking about Forsberg. I've seen a few of his tweets earlier on today as well. And I think, yes, Forsberg may be an option, but I don't know an awful lot about him, so I'm not going to tell you whether it be a good signing or a bad signing. If it happened, I'd just have to trust Jose Mourinho's judgment on that one. Atif, thank you for getting in the comments. Bishal says, what have I missed, Adam? So far we've just been talking about Gareth Bale and that story rocking its head again. Do we think that's possible? Now, me personally, I think it's just the British press getting bored. They haven't got much to write about at this moment in time in terms of Man United. And I think Gareth Bale's always an easy winner and an easy target for clicks for them. So I think Gareth Bale is a player that's always going to be linked to Man United. Obviously, Jose Mourinho has spoken about him recently as well, so it's easy to make those links. But the Spanish press aren't saying much about Gareth Bale leaving, and you would expect them to know a lot more than the British press. And Gareth Bale has been in the Spanish press talking about how he wants to spend his future at Real Madrid. So if I was a Man United fan, I wouldn't get too excited by those talks about Gareth Bale. We were also covering the latest on Ivan Perisic, with Spalletti saying that he would take a crazy offer, or what was it? He would accept an offer that was difficult to reject. And now obviously they've been talking about offers that are difficult to reject for a while, and Manchester United haven't budged at that. So I don't think that's actually a change in the situation. I don't think they're saying, come and get Ivan Perisic, we're open to offers. I think they're saying you're going to have to pay an awful lot of money to get Ivan Perisic. Some of you guys want Forsberg, but I don't know enough about him. And Juan Iniesta says, sub to Statman Dave. Yes, subscribe to Statman Dave. You can find his channel on YouTube by searching Statman Dave, and give him a cheeky sub once we are finished here. We've got over 550 people in the live stream at the moment as well, so make sure you hit that like button, and of course subscribe to Adam McKola TV. United are playing tonight. We're in action against Barcelona now. I'm not covering the game for full-time Devils, but I will be covering the game on Adam McKola TV. We'll have a preview before the game at 12 o'clock British time. The game kicks off at 12:30, so whatever time the game kicks off for you, we will be live half an hour before that on Adam McKola TV. So make sure you join us then, and I'll do a post-match stream as well. So keep it locked to Adam McKola TV throughout the night. Full-time Devils are still covering the game, but I am not on for them tonight. Javier says we need to move on from nannies and Chicaritos. Who's suggesting we go back to Nanny and Chicharito? Jose Mourinho made a great comment about Chicharito recently when he said that we don't need him. We've got Rashford, we've got Lukaku, we've got Marshall, we don't need Chicharito. And that is what I love to hear, because Chicharito is not an improvement on the players that we have at this club. So why should we sign him? We shouldn't. It's as simple as that. Come on, United, says Marco Rourke. Yes, we've got Barcelona tonight in the final American game of the tour. And then we go to the two games, is it Valerenga and Sampdoria. And then we've got the Super Cup against Real Madrid. So it's winding down towards the Premier League campaign now. And also talking about the Premier League campaign, we have got a target by the beginning of the Premier League campaign now. I don't think we're going to make it. I think we're going to come up just a little bit short, but I'm still keeping positive because anything can happen. We're about 2,500 away from the target of 40k by the beginning of the Premier League campaign. So you know what to do if you haven't done that already. Become one of those 40k. Barcelona says Hasby. That's creative, mate. Santos says Eric Dyer. Rumours, mate. Daniel Levy wouldn't. He's not going to sell us Eric Dyer, and he's not going to sell us Eric Dyer for cheap anyway. So no, thank you. Pablo says let's beat Liverpool to Naby Keita for 70-80 million. No thanks, mate. We've got our own young talents that we need to develop. We don't need to be splashing 80 million on another one. Timbo twice the player Dyer is, says Red Rum. I like that, mate. I like that. Chemistry looks good, to be honest, says DJX. Jose Mourinho has been speaking about that as well, about the chemistry of this side and how it's progressing going forward. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this team progress and develop. You hear it, you see how he looks, and he looks really, really positive at this moment in time. Obviously, we've only got 50% of our transfer business done, but we still need to get that done. But even without that done, I think we've still got a good squad, and we just need to add another one or two to that. So yeah, I agree, Tanvi. I don't want Eric Dyer at Man United. Liam Riddler says Ross Barkley. Now, Ronald Koeman today confirmed that Ross Barkley would be leaving Everton this summer as he needs a new challenge. And excuse me for that while I clear my throat. So yeah, they're saying that Ross Barkley's leaving Everton. And a lot of Man United fans are saying, do you want... Well, not a lot. There's been one or two in this stream today saying, should we get him? And I don't think we should get him. No, we should not get Ross Barkley. There was a few years ago when I thought, I would love Ross Barkley at Manchester United. He's a decent player. He's got great potential. He looks like a bully in the midfield. He looked like Wayne Rooney when Wayne Rooney broke through. You know, that aggression to his game. Not as good, but he had that aggression to his game. He could tackle, he could pass, he could shoot. Everything like that. And I used to want United to sign Ross Barkley and develop him. But he's never developed. He's only gone backwards. And why should we sign a player that just hasn't developed at Everton? Could he deal with the pressure at Manchester United? I don't think he could. Sujit says, score predictions for tonight. My score predictions will be in the preview show, which is half an hour before kickoff. So if you want to hear my predictions for that, then join us then. We'll also have the live team news and all that good stuff. Barkley is decent, not great, says Adil. Bishal says Barkley to United. He doesn't want him. Do you think winning the league would allow more kids to play the season after less pressure on Jose, says Craig? Yes, that's very, very true. But also, with the demands Jose Mourinho makes of his players, I think if a young player is going to come through, they can come through at any time, because he demands so much of them that if a young player proves himself to Jose Mourinho, I think he would play him anyway, like we've seen with Marcus Rashford. But of course, we want to be winning the league this season. So I think below the likes of Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Andreas Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe and Joel Pereira, and maybe Demi Mitchell, I don't think any of the other youngsters are going to really get an opportunity unless we have a dreadful time with injuries. So, but then again, if we don't make those signings, the signings of the defensive midfielder that Jose Mourinho wants, and of course the attacking wide midfielder that Jose Mourinho wants, if we don't make those signings, then we may need a few of those younger players to come through quicker. So that's the situation there. Someone commenting about the Glazers. It's funny when people only comment about the Glazers when we're not making signings. Why not comment about it before? I've been moaning about the Glazers for years. Get on board, guys. Come on. Fuck the Glazers. 8:23 here in Nuneaton, says John. Cheers, John. What time is kickoff in the UK, says Daniel. Kickoff is at 12:30, mate. But you can join us here at 12 o'clock for the build-up to the game. Someone said, Ziad, there you go, I read your comment, mate. What about Verratti, says Sahil? I would love Verratti at the club, but I don't think it's going to happen. Can't wait to see our black away kit. Adam, says someone in the comments. Sorry, it moved quite quickly. But yeah, we saw that already, didn't we? What game was it? Was it the Real Salt Lake game? Was the game when Lukaku scored? He scored his first goal in that black strip, didn't he? Against Real Salt Lake, I think. So yeah, we have already played in it, so you can probably see some pictures of the players in action in it already if you did miss that game. Mark says, what do you think of Neymar to PSG? I wouldn't be surprised if it happened, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Barcelona will keep Neymar there at the end. I think much like Gareth Bale to Real Madrid, I think Neymar is in that position. Now obviously he's Brazilian, so he's not Spanish, he's not come through the academy there, he's not treated the same like the others. And Gareth Bale's not a Madrista, but I think those two are the future of those two clubs in terms of the main men. Obviously they're signing players like Mbappe, and Barcelona are always going to sign big players, but Neymar's a future Ballon d'Or winner, and I think Barcelona would be stupid to let him go, and I think he'd be stupid to go to Ligue 1 as well. I think if he's going to go anywhere, you go to the Premier League. You don't take a step down, take a sideways step. Don't take a step down and go to Ligue 1. You may win the league every season, but is it really going to be the level you want Neymar playing at? I mean, fucking Ronaldinho went from PSG to Barcelona. He didn't go backwards from Barcelona to PSG. You don't do that. Come on, get with it. Got over 600 people in, just under 650 at this moment in time. Make sure you're hitting that like button as well. It doesn't take you long and it doesn't stop you from viewing the stream. Keren's not happy with Bailey's suspension. I agree as well. He's already been punished by missing the final, and then you're going to punish him by missing another UEFA Super Cup final, and then not only that but another Champions League group game. I think it's an absolute disgrace. And also it wasn't even him, it was Antonio Valencia. So what the fuck's going on there? Really, really random, and I don't get it at all. Atif, relax, bro. With the Barber questions, just chill. Do you reckon Lacazette will cut it at Arsenal, says Benjamin? I think he'll get goals. I think he's good for at least 15 goals next season. I just think if Arsenal are going to let Alexis Sanchez go, and Lacazette's the only one they bring in, then I don't think they've really replaced Alexis Sanchez at all. So yes, if they keep Sanchez, it's a good signing. But if they let Sanchez go, I think it's a backward step for him. Also, you can see on Full Time Devils, we did a Lukaku versus Lacazette versus Morata debate with Joel from Cheeky Sport and Jack Davis from the Chelsea channel and the Football Republic. Ziad, thanks for the comment, mate. Pronounced Ardeel, not Adil. Alright, nice one, mate. Thanks for that. I'm crap with pronunciations. You should know that by now. Imran, I will not be your daddy. Fabinho to United. What's my thoughts, Sahil? I think if Monaco sell Kylian Mbappe, I think they'll be in a position where they'll be able to probably prevent a few other players going. I can't see them letting go of Mbappe, Fabinho, Bakayoko, Lamar, all those in one window. I think they've kind of stood their ground a little bit with Fabinho and Lamar. And maybe they've said you can go next summer or something, I'm not sure. But to me, I don't think he's going to leave this summer. James is saying deluded, I don't know what he's on about. What have we said that is deluded, or unless someone's being deluded in the comments. United's defence strong enough to win the league, says Fitness. If we keep all of our players fit, yes. But obviously you got injury concerns over Jones, Smalling and Rojo constantly. I think Victor Lindelof's got to prove himself. I think the only one we can truly rely on is Eric Bailly and Daley Blind. So yes, if we keep them fit, I think we've got a decent selection of centre-halves. But if we can't, then obviously it is a worry as well. Michael, thank you for joining us. If you're heading off, then thank you. No problem. Lindelof is a flop, says David, judging players straight away. Nice to see that. Where's the common sense, eh? Where's the comments? Did you judge Evra and Vidic straight away? Did ya? Anandit says, should United still go for Matic? If Jose wants him and they think we can get him, then we should. If we're going to be wasting our time, then no. It depends how the negotiations have gone with Chelsea so far. Also, I tend to think, could these offers for Matic and Dyer and Perisic be smoke screens for someone else? We use Morata as a sort of smoke screen for Romelu Lukaku. Smoke screen, hashtag smoke screen. Could that be the case? Victor Bailly is greater than Mike Smalling, says Will Byrne. Do you think Mickey will have a bigger impact this season, says Farhan? I think with us being a team that has only made 2 more signings and potentially only going to make 3 or 4 more new signings by the end of the transfer window, I think we've got to rely on the likes of Martial, Mkhitaryan, Pogba, Rashford, all improving on their outputs last season, all adding more goals, more assists, and improving in terms of performance. Now, I'm confident they can do that, but they have to put that into action. If they put that into action, I think we've got enough there. If they don't, then it's obviously a worry. But I think, Rob, I mentioned this in the debate earlier on Full Time Devils with Lacazette, Lukaku and Morata. And I said, I think Lukaku is a step up from a 36-year-old Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now, I noticed I said a 36-year-old Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Obviously, Zlatan in his peak, Lukaku hasn't reached those levels yet. But the Zlatan of last season, Lukaku is better than him at this moment in time. And I think if he applies that to Manchester United, he settles into this team, I think we can only look forward to getting plenty of goals out of Romelu Lukaku. It's that simple. There's no new news on Matic, Prackle. There's been links to him with Juventus and Inter Milan, and there's a possibility he would go there. But I'm not too sure at this moment in time. Rajesh says, who is our left back? I like to think it will be Luke Shaw for the majority of the season, but until he's fit, it will probably be Daley Blind, and I think we can rely on him there. Menez just keeps saying goal, I'm not too sure why. Thoughts on playing West Ham, says Ziad. No doubt Javier Hernandez will score at Old Trafford on the opening Premier League game of the season, but I'm hoping United can win. It's going to be a difficult game. They're obviously making a few signings, but with them making a few signings, then of course they're going to have to settle into the team. How quickly will they settle? Are they going to be firing from the off the races straight away? So you have to obviously take those things into consideration. Sashil mentioned Shaw and Darmian for left back. I forgot about Darmian. Yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic in the last couple of months. Obviously, he's had ups and downs at United. He started off fantastically well, and then he had that dip after he got roasted by Sanchez at the Emirates. And then now He's playing a little bit better under Jose Mourinho, so hopefully he sticks around, and he seems pretty confident he's going to stick around. Now, we've had a few numbers obviously jumping in since the start of this stream, so we'll recap what we've been talking about so far. And we've been talking about the recent rumours about Gareth Bale to Manchester United. Now, me personally, I have to apologise because a few weeks ago I said I would not speak about Gareth Bale again on MUFC Transfer Talk, but here I am talking about Gareth Bale, and it's a rumour that constantly comes up for Manchester United. It's recently come up again because of Kylian Mbappe's potential move to Real Madrid, and if that goes through, will it put Gareth Bale out of place? The British press seem to think so, and they're running with this Gareth Bale to Manchester United rumour because of the comments of Jose Mourinho in the tunnel to Gareth Bale, and of course in his press conference when he said he'd love to sign him, but he's not on his list because he finds he's unattainable. And I think that's exactly where it's at. In Spain, there's none of these reports that Gareth Bale is going to leave. If anyone's going to leave because of Mbappe, to say it's going to be Esencial. So Gareth Bale's position at Real Madrid seems to be in a strong state at this moment in time. And more to the fact, in the last 24 hours, Gareth Bale has been quoted as saying he's fully happy at Real Madrid and he's going to stay there. So this may be the last time that we speak about Gareth Bale again. But that was the crux of the main debate today, and this was why I was bringing up the topic again, because there's a lot of Man United fans, well, not a lot, there's a few Man United fans on social media that are talking about Gareth Bale to Manchester United more, with Mbappe going to Real Madrid, and I'm not quite sure where this confidence has come from. I'm not sharing that confidence, and I'm still of the opinion that Gareth Bale will not be joining Man United this summer. Although, you keep your fingers crossed and you hope for the best. You always want the best players to join the club, and I do hope I'm wrong on that one. But anyway, that's the way it is at this moment in time, and I think the British press are just getting bored. They're getting really, really bored because there's not a lot coming out of Manchester United at the minute. And of course, there's not a lot coming out of Manchester United at the minute, so they're having to make things up. Anyway, guys, that is it for today's MUFC Transfer Talk. You've had your half an hour of transfer talk and a little bit on top. We will be back later on today at midnight UK time, 30 minutes before kickoff, wherever you are. We'll be live on Adam McKola TV for the preview. So I'll have team news, predictions and pre-match chat, and then of course the live reaction as well. So yeah, thank you for watching us here, guys. We will be back in about 3.5 hours. So hopefully I'll see you then. I've been Adam McKola. This has been Adam McKola TV. Make sure you hit that like button and make sure you hit subscribe as well. Can we hit 40k by the beginning of the Premier League campaign? Fingers crossed. See you later.